On tonight's show, I'm so lucky. Two of my favourite actresses and your actual Chandler Bing from Friends. No one told me life was going to be this way. They remembered. Let's have the show! Well done, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Very good. Great guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And now here's an interesting thing. One of them is about to star in the West End as Nell Gwynn. Nell Gwynn, King Charles II's bawdy lover, ladies and gentlemen. There is the actual Nell Gwynn. And she was famous, of course, for selling oranges. Yeah. Interesting, though, if you Google the words woman and orange, you actually get this. Rumour has it that Nell Gwynn was attracted to King Charles II because he was so incredibly rich. But would a beautiful woman behave like that nowadays? Let's get the guests on! Later, we'll have music from rising star Jack Savoretti. But first, she's gone from Gravesend to the West End, starring in movies like St. Trinian's, Quantum of Solace, Tamara Drew, and last year's sellout musical Made in Dagenham. Please welcome Gemma Arterton! Look at you with like liquid silver. Mercury. Sit down, sit down. She's the BAFTA award-winning actress who's delighted us with countless roles over the years, including Professor Sprout in Harry Potter. She's quite simply a force of nature. It is such a warm welcome back to Miriam Margolyes. Oh, I come to get you. Look at you, you're like a goat up those steps. You didn't need help at all. No. Shut up, Gemma, shut up. There you go. For 10 years, he was part of our lives as Chandler Bing in the smash hit Friends. Now, he's returning to the West End with his playwriting debut, The End of Longing. Welcome, for the very first time, Mr. Matthew Perry! Hey! Hello, sir. Really nice to meet you. I'm really well. Come in and sit down. Let's shut up, lady. Greeting, kissing. Okay. All right. You're all very welcome. Of course, Gemma, Miriam, you've been here before. Matthew, well, now, you haven't been here before. You have been in London many times.
I did, yes. I did a play here in 2003.
OK. And by the way, have you chatted out the back a bit?
Very briefly, yeah.
OK.
I don't know you. We don't know each other,
no,
do we?
We don't.
No, not yet. But I'm very pleased to meet you.
Well, it's nice to meet you, too.
Very pleased. And I think you're lovely.
I think you're lovely too.
Thank you.
That's good. There we leave our show. While it's all going well, let's stop.
She didn't say I look lovely.
She was very pleased to meet you.
That's true.
Yes,
what the fuck do you want?
Now, we're going to talk about your play,
yes.
Matthew, but later, because you've never been here before, there will be a couple of Friends questions along the way.
OK, that's fine.
And just to let you know, on the sofa, it's quite yin and yang. Gemma Arterton over there, you lived and breathed Friends. I mean, you were a big fan.
I was the generation of Friends. I mean, I'm 30 in 2 weeks, but when I was a kid, I was in the age... I had Rachel haircut the lot. Yeah.
Oh.
It wasn't a good period.
No? And then, Miriam is one of those people. You must be in such a tiny minority in the world.
I've never seen Friends.
But that's not possible, Miriam. You must have woken up in a hotel room and it was just on.
I'll show you some episodes in a hotel room.
I'll tell you why. Many years ago, I lived in America,
yes.
in Los Angeles, and I was part of the stable of comedy people of Norman Lear. And he introduced me to Marta Kaufman and David Crane.
Yes.
And I really liked David Crane, and I couldn't stand Marta Kaufman. I thought she was a monster. And they wrote Friends. I thought, bugger it, I'm not watching that. And that's the only reason. That's the only reason.
Oh, I
She's actually quite a lovely woman. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't say anything.
I won't.
No need, I'd have thought at this point. Keeping on telly and all.
I think it's been said.
Now, Matthew Berry, you join us. This is an amazing time. This is kind of a life milestone for you, in that you have written a play.
I did. I wrote a play called The End of Longing that's going to be at the Playhouse Theatre and opening on February 11th, and I'm very excited about it.
And you're in it as well.
I'm in it as well.
You're not directing it. You haven't done the three.
I'm not directing it, but I wrote a play and I put myself as the lead, so I'm quite narcissistic.
And it starts at the, as you say, the Playhouse. It starts on February the 2nd.
February the 2nd at previews.
Previews, yes.
Yeah.
But I suppose a lot of people say, you know, why have you chosen to debut your play in London? Why bring it here?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think that the play it's actually a really good play for the Friends generation. It's about people in their 30s and their 40s who are single and kind of broken and trying to make it work and have a relationship with one another. And I think that the humor is very dark, and I think it will really appeal to British audiences. It's very satirical. I think people here will like it a lot.
You've said that it's not autobiographical in any way, and yet the character you play is a lot of you.
Well, I play a drunk.
Okay.
So... it's a slightly exaggerated form of myself.
Yes.
But... Were you an alcoholic at one time?
I still am.
Not really.
Well, yes.
I don't think you ever stop.
No, you always are. You always are. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm glad we're talking about this.
Well, you look great.
Thank you very much.
You look great.
Thank you.
And now, this is your first full-length play, but you've always kind of been drawn to writing. You would go into the writer's room and all that.
Yes, I was in the writer's room of Friends a lot, and I wrote the show that I'm doing, The Odd Couple, a revamp of The Odd Couple in the States now, and I wrote the pilot of that. But the play is the first thing I've ever written by myself, which was quite daunting and scary. But I've always written with a partner before, but the play was the first thing I've written by myself.
It's the hardest thing to write, isn't it? It's much harder than
It's hard to
acting.
face the page, and there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden you make something there, yeah.
And
Did you have the... Sorry. Did you have... Did you have the...
Stay out of this, will you?
I'm just checking the name of the show. Oh, no, go, Miriam, go.
No, I wanted to ask, was this something that you've had in your mind for a long time, or was it...
Well, I had done that play in 2003. I did a David Mamet play.
Right.
And I wanted to do kind of a similar thing and see if I could write something similar to that.
Which is bloody hard. I mean, it must be good.
Yeah.
Because not just anybody can get a thing on in the West End. It's really hard.
I hear my play is slightly better than Gemma's.
Let's have a playoff later. Let's have a playoff. And actually, the interesting thing is, because, you know, being a stage actor, we don't think of you being a stage actor, but of course, everything's been in front of a live audience.
That's
all
true.
these years.
Yes, I'm very used to performing in front of a live audience, yeah.
Because obviously Friends was, but is The Odd Couple in front of a live audience
Yes,
as well?
it is, yeah.
But they're American. They're American live
American,
audience.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be
Different.
slightly different. It will be slightly different.
But he's played the West End before.
Oh, you've been in the West End before?
Yeah, are you paying attention to the show? I guess not. Yeah, I've already done a play on the West End.
Oh,
yes.
well, then you...
Yeah.
You're laughing.
Ah.
And Gemma, of course, was in a big musical last year, Maid and Dagenham, and in that you had to go amongst the live audience.
I did.
And,
Oh, wow.
Not something that I enjoy doing, I have to admit. I don't know if audiences even like it, because they get a bit nervous. What's going to happen? Are you going to talk to me or make me participate? But I did go into the audience, and it does happen where phones go off. How can you believe it? Phones go off in the theatre, which is a big bugbear of mine. And this guy, I walked down the aisle and I have to sort of stand there, and first of all, his phone went off, and then he took a picture of me. So I just took it. The play was set in the 1960s, and I said, "What's that then?" And I just turned it off and took it away with me. Good for you.
You should have squeezed his testicles very hard.
Well, I did that as well.
No, I think you might have enjoyed that, Miriam.
I don't know.
Because actually, Miriam, You've been quite bossy with audiences. Was it your Dickens? Was it your one-woman Dickens show?
Yes. I think it was... No, I think it was something in Australia I did. I can't actually remember what it was. But I was very good. And, and everybody stood up in the audience, except this one woman in the front row. And I just said, why aren't you standing up? She said, and good on her, she said, I stood up for Derek Jacobi. And that put me in my place.
What did you let her sit there, then?
Well, what could I do? I wasn't going to haul her to her feet. You should never do that. You should just, whatever the audience gives you, be grateful, and that's it, you know, and I know that's true. But I just thought, how could she not stand up when everybody else in the theatre was standing up?
Yeah, because then she's making a point.
She's making a point, and I said, well, I think it's very rude of you.
Maybe she couldn't stand up.
No, she got up to go out.
So, you said already, but just to be clear, so with this play, if people are fans of Friends, they will enjoy this play. They won't come to it thinking, oh, it's Friends Live, and then kind of go, what the hell was that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a good play for the Friends generation. I think it's a dark comedy. It's a little darker than Friends was.
But we're all older.
We're all older.
Life's got darker.
Life's gotten darker. Yeah.
And it is, I mean, it is so weird. Even in the papers this week, you know, 12 years after Friends stopped. It's now in the papers all this week because this is rumoured reunion that you're getting together.
Yes.
Is that true or no?
No, that's not true.
Because you'll be here, won't you?
I'm going to be here, yes. It's not the Friends reunion that everybody's hoping for. It's, they're celebrating Jim Burrows, who was a director of Friends, and the 5 of them are going to be on this special, and I'm going to introduce them from here, because I'm doing the play here, so I can't be there.
That's a really good excuse as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, listen, it probably won't be a reunion, maybe there will, but like so many big hits, Friends lives on in its porn parody.
It's true. It's very true.
I think maybe it's even more than one porn parody. It's very popular.
Well, there's one that I'm familiar with.
I've got one here. Is it that one?
What is that called?
Friends at XXX Parody.
No, the one I know about is called Fiends. And in it, all the characters are having sex with each other, except for Chandler, who's just sitting in the corner masturbating.
Gemma, you're a fan. Would you like a copy of this?
Oh, Fiends.
This sounds quite good, though. Listen to this. The comedy flies, as do the bodily fluids. Oh, wow. Hilarity and deep penetration ensues. You can have it. Go on. It's still in... Oh, no, it's not out of its cover now.
Here, I think you should have this.
Actually, I've made my own.
Well, Miriam's been in a lot of porn.
Oh, really? I didn't realise that.
Only audio, though.
Only the audio?
Yes. I've never actually done it in front of a camera.
But you make the sounds of it.
I make the sounds, and I'm not doing it now.
No. I wasn't going to ask. You brought it up, Miriam.
I'd rather watch your show.
All right. I don't think anybody really wants this.
Do you want it?
No.
No.
We don't.
Here, you can have this.
If we leave it there, by the end of the show, that'll be gone.
Somebody will take it.
Look at him. Look at him in the shirt. He's eyeing it up. He's eyeing Yeah, if I distract my girlfriend, I can get that into my bag. Now, Gemma Arterton, your play in the West End, you take on the role of... Well, she's kind of like the original raunchy actress, isn't she, Nell Gwynn?
She was the second British actress to grace the boards. And she was famous not only for being an actress, and she was a very, very popular actress, but also because she became gentry. She married... Well, she had King Charles's sons, and she was included into the English court. And so she was a, you know, Cockney girl that managed to work her way up.
Yeah, and I love the poster. The poster is here. Look, Gemma Arterton is Nell Gwynn. And I like this. Fun, funny and joyous, a cast of 20 and a band, naughty songs, merry dancers and a dog. Now, Matthew Perry, I mean, take that, yeah?
Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog.
Well, there you go.
There'll be a horse by tomorrow. Of rewrites furiously overnight.
Right.
And it's at the Apollo Theatre from February the 4th until the end of April. And it's a new play. I mean, but it's been done once before, but it's still new.
It's brand new, written by Jessica Swale, who's a young writer. She's brilliant, and it's very, very funny. It's sort of got Blackadder vibes, and yeah, there's music, and it's just great fun. And I'm rehearsing it as we speak, and it's just a laugh. Love it.
Now, in this play, there's a fan language.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing?
Do you not know about fan language? Fan language was created when women weren't allowed to talk in the company of men, so they created their own language with fans in order to communicate.
Well, I've got a fan.
Ah.
Is this...
There's a fan.
That is a fan, yes.
And
okay.
So, first of all, you can speak a lot with a fan before you don't even have to open your mouth, so...
Oh,
it's quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah,
but that
sit a bit further away.
But there's lots of things like, for example, this means we're being watched.
Okay.
And this means kiss me. Kiss me. This means between you and I, which is where that comes from.
Oh, I see.
And this, well, you can guess what that means.
I think that's actually in the porn.
Gemma, you get to do your natural Cockney voice in this, don't you?
I do. I get to do my my old accent before RADA accent, which is great. But then actually, she becomes she speaks very, very well at the end because she's an actress and she picks it up very easily.
But when you went home with your new RADA voice, Gravesend were not keen, were they?
No, well, the family weren't. You know, you can't get away with it with my family. They just put me right in my place.
I bet they're very proud of you, darling.
They are very proud of me.
I bet they are,
yes.
so they should be.
Yeah, they are.
But it's different when you're working class, you know, and you come back speaking posh. It does set people's teeth on edge.
Yeah, it does.
Because I have a posh voice and I wish I didn't, but I just do. And
you can change your accent. You should do that.
I do.
You know, choose an
always
accent
do.
a day.
I always, if I need something in the street, I always become Scottish.
I've got to ask you, what do you need in the street?
You never know. Well, I mean, the time or a road or a garage, you know, something like
yes.
that.
Oh,
Why Scottish?
I tell you why, and this is true. Scottish is a classless sound, and it's friendly. Excuse me, could you tell me where the nearest garage is? I don't know where I am at the moment. I'm just slightly lost here. Could you help me out? You know, it's friendly. It's friendly.
May have rumbled you now, but that's that Scottish woman I helped. And now, here's the thing. You're on stage in the West End, and obviously people come to see you, and you get confident, you get nervous. But do you get nervous when your family come? Because they don't sugarcoat what they think, do they?
No, my family, they're very supportive, but they don't feel the need to, you know, if they don't like something or they weren't that impressed or they were a bit bored, they'll say. For example, when I did Made in Dagenham, it was a huge deal for me because I'm not really a singer and I'd been practicing. And my mum came and she went, the voice has gotten better. But, you know, in a way, it's... She should
in a really horrible
amazing.
way. Because, Miriam, now, I'm guessing you don't sugarcoat things. Do you get starstruck when you meet people?
I do sometimes. I remember when I was young, I met Laurence Olivier.
Wow.
That was... I used to collect autographs at the stage door, you know, and he came out, and I remember so distinctly that I started to cream in my knickers. I could feel it. I could actually... I went all funny. That is true. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Wherever we thought that story was going. That isn't it.
I honestly don't think I've ever been more uncomfortable in my life. I think that's the worst moment of my life.
Oh, dear.
Well, it can only get better. So.
Well, that's a lovely story, Miriam. Thank you for sharing. I think that's in the compilation. That's great.
But I think that's a tribute.
No, it's a no greater compliment, Miriam. Yes. I think we should all get fans out now.
Yeah, fan yourself.
Thank you very much.
No, because when you're sort of Matthew Perry and you're so incredibly famous, you imagine you won't get starstruck when you meet people, but you did. Is it the director, the famous director, M. Night?
Oh yes, M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan, that's
yes.
what you say. Yes.
Yes. Well, I have a story about M. Night Shyamalan. Do you guys know who that is? The guy who directed Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And in this story, I drop a few names, so I apologize in advance for this.
Okay.
But about 15 years ago, when The Sixth Sense came out, Bruce Willis won the People's Choice Award for Best Actor. And he asked me to present the award to him, so I did. And I went backstage that night, and I met Haley Joel Osment from the movie, and I met M. Night Shyamalan. And about 6 months later, I was at this bar. This is back when I was drinking. And I was with a couple of friends, and M. Night Shyamalan walked in. And he said, "Hi, Matthew." And I went, "Oh, my God, hi, how are you? Please, sit down, join us." And he sat down, and he joined us, and we sat there for about an hour talking, and I noticed my friends sort of filtered out. And then it was just me and M. Night Shyamalan for about another hour, and I noticed we weren't talking about show business or anything. We were just kind of talking about women and love and loss and life and all that. And he mentioned that there was another club opening across town, and would I like to go with him? And I said, "Sure, I'd love to go with you." And I had this weird moment, which I never have had before, where I was convinced that I was going to be a big movie star as a result of this night. Because he was laughing at all my jokes. He really was sort of into me. I think he might have been a big Friends fan. He was really liking me.
Yeah.
And so we get to the next place, and I felt comfortable enough, sort of drunk enough, to say, "We should work together sometime." And he kind of went like this. And I remember going, "Oh, I wish I hadn't said that." And then he went to the bathroom, and a friend of mine came up to me and said, "How's your night going?" And I said, "What, are you kidding? I'm having the greatest night of my life. M. Night Shyamalan and I have been hanging out for the last 2.5 hours. It's been great." And the guy, M. Night Shyamalan, came back from the bathroom, and my friend said, "That's not M. Night Shyamalan." And it wasn't. It was just an Indian gentleman who looked a lot like M. Night Shyamalan. And I had said to him, "Let's work together." And it turned out he was a maitre d' at a local restaurant.
Have you ever seen him again since?
No, but I've seen the guy, and we always look at each other like jilted lovers.
Now, Miriam Margolyes, you don't bring us a film, but you bring us a documentary inspired by a film, which it seems like a really good idea. It's called The Real Marigold Hotel. It starts at BBC 2 at 9 p.m. on the 26th of January.
Yep.
And it's you, and a phrase I haven't uttered before, it's you and celebrity pensioners.
Oh, I don't like that.
OK, well, I won't say it again. And the idea is you all go and explore what it might be like to retire in India. And I think you seem like you enjoyed this experience.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. India is a fantastic place. Have you been?
I've never been.
Have you
I've
been?
never been,
You
no.
must go. It's truly, I mean this from my heart, it's absolutely a wonderful country, really. And I don't know if I'd retire there, but I want to go back there.
It's
And
where
we
my
all
friend
do.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
You can go together.
You might meet him up.
But now, I don't know if it's the way the programme's edited, but your trip did seem dominated by the toilet.
Well, this sounds like my favorite show ever.
Well, look, I'm nearly 75, and you can't hang on to it as well as you can at your age. So it becomes important to be able to get to a toilet when you want to.
Is everything okay right now?
If I start to fidget, get worried.
All right.
Yes, I mean, I think everybody would feel the same. You know, you want to be able to get to a toilet.
Yes.
And in India, if you can get to a toilet, it's not always a toilet you want to get to. You put it like that, because it's a dirty hole in the ground with 2 footprints and not much cover and lots of flies and shit on the wall and everything. It's not pleasant. But if you're in a hotel or somewhere like that, of course, it's absolutely as it would be in the West.
Why are there 2 footprints?
1 for each foot.
Okay. All right. I understand.
Painted a lovely picture with words, Miriam.
No, but I mean, there's much more to India than
Yes, no,
dirty
of course there
toilets,
is, yes.
you know, but it's just something that was important to me.
Well, listen, we've got a clip. This is you getting ready for breakfast with your fellow travellers.
Oh, I haven't seen any of it.
Well, you will see it now. Watch with interest.
I bought tickets for your show, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I
Have you
have.
bought tickets for Matthew's
Not yet,
show?
but I will. I don't ask the comps, ever. I always
No?
pay for...
Okay.
No,
Well,
I
we'd
pay
love
my
for you
way.
to come.
I will come, and I might come backstage.
Just
and
make sure
frighten you.
she's new.
Well, of course I
I will guarantee you one thing, there will be bathrooms backstage.
At the Playhouse, hardly, but... And over the years, Matthew, I like you were in some interview, you were talking about how you knew that Friends would be a big hit, like quite early on. Was there a specific episode you knew?
I did know that Friends was going to be a hit. I didn't know that it was going to be the giant hit that it was. I tell you this.
I know it's been successful.
But there was one episode where there was a blackout in New York City, and I was stuck in an ATM vestibule with Jill Goodacre.
Was she in it?
She was in it, yeah.
You'd know that if you'd watched it.
Yes, I was stuck in an ATM vestibule with her, so she was in it.
In Friends?
Yeah.
Oh, right. OK.
The TV show Friends. Yeah, and that episode really made me think that we were doing something special.
Because I suppose because you were kind of away from... You could see the others in the apartment.
I could see the others in the apartment, and the audience was really laughing, and it just felt like the right thing.
And there was a spooky thing that when you got the scripts before you auditioned, I mean, it wasn't like you kind of thought, I could be that guy.
Yeah, well, I was unavailable because I had done this terrible TV show about baggage handlers in the year 2197. So I was off the market. So my friends were all auditioning for this show called Friends, and there was this character named Chandler who was very similar to me. So I would help them with their auditions. And I finally said, let me just do this for you. Just imitate what I'm doing and go in. And some of them got very far and almost got the job. And then somebody finally saw the baggage handler show and decided that wasn't going to get picked up. And then they allowed me to be on Friends.
Wow. Well, listen, our office, I think, has more than its fair share of Friends geeks.
Okay.
So, like, you know, the famous quiz episode when the girls lose the apartment?
Yes, I remember that
the quiz.
episode.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what the guys wanted you to do was see if you could remember the answers to the Chandler questions in the quiz. If you can't, Gemma Arterton's right on it. Do you remember this episode? No. Miriam, no hope. So, only don't shout out till Matthew can't get it, but feel free to shout out if you can then get it.
The pressure is on.
Okay, here we go. According to Chandler, what phenomenon scares the bejesus out of him?
Oh, that's Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance.
You are correct. Yes, well done. Okay. What is the name of Chandler's father's all-male burlesque?
I actually know that, too. That's Viva Las Vegas.
You'll definitely know this one. You'll definitely know this one. Every week, the TV guide comes to Chandler and Joey's apartment. What name appears on the address label?
Mrs. Chandler Bong.
Yes, very good. Yeah. Actually, the last one is what... Because this is the famous thing that no one... Although Chandler was the only one with a kind of a proper job.
Right.
Throughout the series, it was never kind of talked about what he actually did.
That's right. It was in computers, something in computers.
So should we see if anyone in the audience knows this before? Do you know it?
I'm not sure. So
does anyone know what is Chandler's job? Oh, there's a hand back up there. See, wait, there's got to be a microphone coming to you. 1 second. What do you think his job was?
A transponder, according to Rachel.
No.
Oh.
No. Anyone else want to guess? Oh, there's a lady at the back. Lady at the back. Oh, they're having to get a very strange angle. We've never spoken to anyone in the back row before. Yes?
Statistical data reconfiguration?
Oh, you're so close. You're so close. That's what it actually is.
Statistical analysis and data reconfiguration.
She's so close. Well done, that lady. Very good. That's a Friends fact. That's a Friends fact. Very good. OK, it's time for music. And I am so thrilled we've got this man on the show. He's a huge favourite on Radio 2. I play him all the time. Performing his beautiful new single, Catapult. Please welcome Jack Savoretti. Jacket! Dressing up! Well done for suit! Hello. I'm really well. Come in. Meet everybody. It's Gemma.
Thank you very much.
Miriam, Matthew.
I'm so glad to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
Well done. That was gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely gorgeous. And if people love that song, and who wouldn't have loved that song, it's out now, and it's also on the deluxe repackage of the album, Written in Scars. And that album, it's your fourth album, but it's just done so well for you.
It has. It's been an amazing year. Thanks very much to you and your kind folk at BBC Radio 2 who have been...
Well, you sent us the CD. The least we could do is play it.
We've been...
Now, Matthew Perry, you look at the end of the couch there. Do you recognise Jack Savoretti?
No.
Well, now I do.
Because you have met before. Jack, off you go.
We have met, actually.
This is the M. Night Shyamalan?
We met due to a mutual friend. You did a play with Minnie Driver.
Oh, that's right. OK.
Yeah. And it was about 12 years ago, and I had just moved to London, and it was my first night out in London with some friends of mine, and we went to a club which remained nameless, and you were there. And you were getting a lot of attention, and you seemed to be a little bit overwhelmed by it, and for some reason I thought I had it in my jurisdiction to come over and give you a drink. Oh. And you were very cool. You sat with me and talked for about 5 seconds and then sort of said, go away.
We're now wondering who he thought you were.
Yeah. But you were incredibly polite. I was very obnoxious and young. And,
well, it's very nice to meet you again.
You too.
But no, you sound much more Italian than I... You have an Italian thing in your voice.
Confused. I sound American when I get nervous, so I'm probably sounding a little bit American right now. But I kind of moved around. My mother is English, father's Italian. I grew up traveling around, so...
OK. Because, Miriam, do you speak Italian, Miriam?
You do, right?
Poco, ma tu sei stupendo, veramente.
Grazie mille, anche lei è favolosa.
È un piacere incontrarti.
Piacere tutto mio. Actually, you're one of my favorite... Me and my wife watch the show all the time. And my favorite interview was you with will.i.am. That was our favorite interview. You're amazing. So excited with you.
Yeah.
And you're touring soon.
Yeah, we're going to be touring the UK in March, and we're doing a really special show in Cadogan Hall, which hopefully these three amazing ladies at strings, I haven't asked them yet, but I'm asking them now. Hopefully they will play with me. We're doing a special show with just piano and guitar at Cadogan Hall. But otherwise, if you want to see all the other chaps there, we're going to be touring the rest of the country all during March.
Fantastic. Well, listen, good luck with the tour. Got up with the album. Thank you so much for that beautiful performance.
Cheers.
Well done. Very good. OK. Jack Savoretti. OK. Before we go, we have time for a visit to the big red chair. Who awaits us? Hello!
Hello.
These are the easy bits. And what's your name, sir?
My name's Brad.
Bread?
Brad.
Brad. I feel like a barista at Starbucks. I'm just having bread on the cup. Oh, OK, Brad, sorry. And where are you from, Brad?
New Zealand.
Of course you are. They're always from New Zealand. I don't know. New Zealand must be empty. You must go to New Zealand and the airport is deserted. They're all queuing for the red chair. OK, Brad. Do you live here or just visiting?
I'm living in London for 10 years.
What do you do here?
I'm working in a marketing department for a university in London.
Oh, that's quite a proper job, doesn't it? Yeah, well done, Brad. OK, Brad, off you go with your story.
So I was in Italy, actually, in Naples, and was walking down the street, and it was obviously in a lightning storm, and there was a heck of a lot of rain coming down. A very, very kind old lady offered me shelter in her house, and I went in, she made me a coffee, and she offered me a change of clothing. It was when I was in the room next door, trying to put my leg through the trousers that I tripped over. I knocked a bookshelf, and the urn on the top of the bookshelf came crashing down. I was still wet from the rain, and as the urn hit the ground, the ash went all over me. To make matters a little bit worse, as I managed to pull the pants up around my waist and started to clean up the mess that I had made, I saw a photo, and it was the lady's husband, well, what looked like her husband, and he was wearing the same pants that I had just so that was potentially the most embarrassing and awkward.
That is a very good story. That's excellent. You can walk. Walk, Brad. Walk. You want to be flipped? No, walk. Oh, you want to be flipped? Oh, you want to be flipped? OK, there you go, Brad. Hey, very good. That was a good story. Lots of detail. It was excellent. There's a short story in that. Normally, Matthew, they're not very good. We've set the bar a little high, I feel. Who's next?
Craig.
Craig. Hi, Craig.
Hiya.
And where are you from?
Deptford.
Deptford?
Yeah.
Deptford, nothing. And what do you do in Deptford?
I'm a graphic designer.
A graphic designer?
Yeah.
In Deptford?
Well, no, not in Deptford.
I was going to say, I thought there was much call for graphic design in Deptford. So where do you do it? In the big split, in the actual...
Yeah, just up Oxford Street.
Of course, where graphic designers live. OK, off you go with your story, sir.
OK, so about 5 years ago, my girlfriend at the time offered me to go on holiday to her parents' villa. Her parents were going to be there as well. I hadn't really met them like that many times, but it was a free holiday, so I thought, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Everything was going kind of all right up until about the third day, when her mum came into our room and offered us to go into a hot tub with them. I wasn't massively sure because I didn't know them that well, but I thought I didn't want to rock the boat. I was trying to impress the parents, so I thought, yeah, I'll do it. About 3-4 minutes in, I kind of felt like a leg kind of graze mine, edged towards mine, and I was like, this is a bit weird. My girlfriend's kind of playing like footsie with me, like with her parents, like right there. But then I realised, kind of because of the positioning of the hot tub, it couldn't really have been her, and it was actually her dad. Being like really British about it, I was polite and didn't say, oh, what are you doing? I just kind of composed myself, got out of the hot tub politely, and kind of just went into our room to kind of contemplate what had happened. So my girlfriend kind of followed out, and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't really know how to tell you this, but your dad's leg was kind of invading mine in the hot tub. So, yeah, and she just burst out laughing. Turned out they had a prosthetic leg, and then he was waving in the air.
We didn't see that coming either. You can walk as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. I really flipped him. Oh, do you want to be flipped?
Oh, if that's all right, yes, please.
OK, got it. All right. Well done, everyone. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go on that red chair, you can contact us via our website at this address. That is it for tonight. Please say a big thank you to all my guests. Jack Severetti, everybody. Gemma Arterton. Miriam Margolis. And Mr. Matthew Perry. Join me next week with singer Elle King, broadcasting legend Sir David Attenborough, actress Olivia Colman, house star Hugh Laurie, comedian Kevin Hart, and rapper turned actor Ice Cube. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.